let's see what are immutables in Solidity. Now, immutables are essentially the variables like constants. Let's say if you watch the video of constant which I just made before, the constants are a piece of keyword which can be written in your contract, and these can't be changeable afterward, right? So if you change that afterward, it may throw an error on the console or maybe in this bar right over here, right? So let's just understand that what's the main need of the immutable, right? So immutables are the main need of the immutables are essentially the gas cost the gas cost for immutable variables are much lower than the state variables, right? And also uh, these are also usable if you had a more kind of complex contract, right, wherein a lot of other contract, let's say if you build a contract that had a most security vulnerabilities contract, so you can use immutables to solve that issues. And yeah, let's move on, just explain you with an example. Let's say let's just make an address, and this address is essentially a public because we want to view this afterward, right? So we have this public, yeah, we have this public, and let's just pass a immutable. So immutable, okay, I just misspelled the name, immutable, right? We just add immutable right over here and just add a variable. Let's say store this address in this name of address, right? And then pass another event, and this event is essentially a public, and again add a immutable, and let's say add this as my number, right? So we have this thing with us, right? Now let's just pass a constructor, right? Let's say constructor, this constructor we already know it's an optional function. Now this constructor should take an argument. Let's say we had a event right over here. This event is, let's say we can pass my let's say my number, right? Then we can add my address is equals to message dot sender, right? And then we can also say my number, let's say my number is equals to your underscore my number, right? So this is a simple example of how you can use immutable, and also it cannot we can set these immutable inside the constructor, and we cannot modify that. We cannot modify these after once we deploy that, right? So that's how we can use them. Let's just compile this immutable dot sol right over here. Just delete this transaction history and look at this. Now over here it states that my what's your number. Let's say I just put my number would be, let's say, 67, and click on this transact, and once we click on this transact, it will basically shows us a public, which is essentially a my address. If we click on this my address, it will show message.sender, which essentially going to be our main address from where we are going to deploy our contract, and this my number is the 67, right? So this will essentially call the same number once we transact that. Click on this transact, it will record a transaction history right over here. Expand this. Now over here you will see this is my address, and if we click on this, we will see that it shows us the address of this from where we deploy the contract. Let's say click on this my address, it shows the same, which is starting from 0x your 5b3 and ending with ddc4, same. And then let's just click on this my number. This my number is equal to 67 because we already deploy and we already allocated the same number over here, which is 67. So that's how we can use immutable in this language. I will see you in the next video.